Recently, one of my friends told me how they saw their gym crush scrolling over baddies on their For You page. And they told me how baddies rule the world. And I realized they were right. Even though I've been single for a while, not focusing on a relationship, a lot of things I do have an indirect purpose to bag a baddie. Yeah, the reason I go to the gym is to be healthy and feel confident in myself, but part of it is for the huzz. And of course I want to be rich and successful for my own fulfillment, but it's also to spoil the huzz. And after this whole epiphany, I had to accept the fact that part of my motivation in life is for the purpose of a significant other. I don't know how to feel about this, because I want to be a strong independent man, but my drive for being a strong independent man is to hopefully find a partner. Does that make sense? The reason why I brought this up though is because everybody does this to an extent. You do things for yourself, but there's that tiny piece that's doing it to impress others as well. But the question is, how far is too far? Because there's a thing called being performative, where people shift their whole personality to seem different and appeal to others, say an opposite sex. The archetype that's been going around is called the performative male. And like with every other starter pack, such as the gym bros with their tank top and energy drinks, the ABG starter pack with their boba and raving, the performative male build consists of the following accessories. First off, vintage thrifted clothes and baggy jeans. Wired earbuds, probably listening to Biba Doobie or Claro. A tote bag, holding their favorite book, Atomic Habits, with a side of Dubai chocolate. Last but not least, a cup of matcha. This aesthetic is nonchalant, very chill. You get that laid back feeling. But most people following this aesthetic are putting up an act. Come on, y'all are doing this in broad daylight for a reason. You want people watching. Y'all are wandering around taking these outfit photos for like 5 minutes, then going back home. To the actual ones who are genuine, who had this aesthetic before it became a trend, my condolences. I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about the 99 other people copying your style. I see a lot of people hating on this performative male archetype, but it shouldn't be the blame here. It's a result of society's pressure to fit in or be cool and different. Like I said, we're all a little performative, some more than others, and I thought we should dive into the things that have been slapped with the performative label lately. Starting with matcha. You know, matcha was a very niche drink, not a lot of cafes would have it, and only a few would order it, usually a handful of girls and matcha brothers like myself.
I'm a matcha nigga now, man.
I remember I first brought up my enjoyment for matcha, people would look at me crazy, disgusted that my taste bud would even enjoy this type of flavor. And to some extent, I understand it. I can see why people complain that it tastes like dirt and bitter grass. But now, all of a sudden, the same people that were complaining about it are the same people having it as their go-to drink. Acting like they didn't just say it tasted like blended lawnmower grass just a second ago. I'm convinced half the people drinking matcha don't actually like it, y'all just getting it to look cool. Order a matcha latte, take a couple aesthetic pictures holding the drink, and post it on the gram. That's peak performance level right there. And to the guys out there, none of us should be rocking a tote bag. Wearing a backpack, cross-body bag, heck, even a fanny pack is far superior. I'm speaking for us guys, but we're pretty forgetful. It's not a good idea to be wearing a backpack that can be loosely taken off and forgotten. If it's not glued to our body like a backpack, we're losing it. There's no situation where carrying a tote bag is more convenient than carrying a backpack, unless of course, it's for the aesthetic, which it looks good, I can't lie, but maybe without those Labubu things on them. Labubus are one of the most ugliest things on the planet, second to me. They look like gremlins, and if you take a closer look at them, it's like they're staring into my soul. But maybe the designer knows something that I don't, cause they've been selling out like crazy. Some of these Labubus go for a couple hundred each, and we got people flexing them like they're doing a money spread. It's taken over just in a few months, and not too long ago, people were collecting Sony Angels instead. Sony Angels were a little questionable too, because they were literally naked babies with their pee-pee sticking out. But if I had the choice to choose between the two, I would choose a figurine that looks like a cute little baby, rather than my first grade nightmare. Thrifting is another thing that's unfortunately labeled as performative. The overall thought of thrifting is nice. You're buying secondhand clothing so it doesn't go to waste, and there are some hidden finds. But thrifting is not for everyone. If you prefer new clothes and don't prefer the vintage look, don't force yourself to like thrifting. Shopping for clothes is also a lot harder because it's a hit or miss. You're probably going to find a cool coat that's 2 sizes up from you. You're trying to convince yourself that it fits you. It does not. And since everybody is going thrifting nowadays, it's become more expensive than buying new, regular clothes. I will come to these stores and see used underwear for like $60. People will say how thrifting is eco-friendly, and yeah, you're right, it is technically better for the environment when you're buying pre-owned clothing rather than new. But you know what's better? Not buying anything at all. This is not an excuse to go on a thrifting spree and have over 40 pairs of pants in your closet. And even after all that, you still can't pick out the clothes you want to wear. The next performative thing is reading books. Reading is a dying hobby, so I do have respect for those who pick up a book instead of scrolling on their phones. But you cannot tell me you're all dressed up just so you can go to your local coffee shop and read your self-improvement book. We know what you're doing, bro. Stop. You're reading 1.5 pages of Atomic Habits before you whip out your phone to take an aesthetic photo or staring at the baristas. Also, how do people read in a noisy environment? I mean, you could read the words on the page, but your brain isn't going to comprehend what you just read when there's so much going on in the background. The wired headphones in your ears aren't going to help. I don't know what y'all be listening to, but music taste has to be one of the most performative things on this list. We got people who refuse to listen to mainstream music simply for the fact that it's mainstream. They go hunting for the most underground artist or a different genre that isn't as popular, and they get a sense of fulfillment because their music taste is different. Or it's the complete opposite, where people actually like the niche type of music but are too afraid to show it. If you like cat versions of songs, embrace it. The biggest example of this is with the Kendrick and Drake disses that happened in 2024. Everybody was cheering on Kendrick because he objectively won the diss battle. And for a period of time, people would shit on Drake's music whenever his songs got played. But no matter who won or lost, his music is still good. And people were too scared to play him on the aux out of fear of being judged, but are still listening to him on the low. Y'all acting like you're not bumping passion fruit on a late night drive. Ending off in a more serious note, the saddest thing a person can do to try to be performative or try to fit in is with beauty standards. I'm not going to say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder or anything, because there are conventionally pretty people and also people who are conventionally chopped. But to some extent, I wish people can embrace their look and accept that everybody is unique in a way. It kind of breaks my heart when people change their entire look just to fit in with the beauty standards. You know how big lips are the trend? Well, some people look better with thin lips, it suits their face. But society's convinced them that they're not pretty enough, and they go through surgery to morph their face to look like everyone else. It's the same with my fellow short kings out there having the pressure to do the height lengthening surgery to fit in. I'm not for or against plastic surgery or anything, people can do what they want with their bodies, but the truth is, people went through these procedures because they're not satisfied with how they look. I don't know what else to say other than just try to be yourself. I know it's very hard to do that when there's so much pressure, but it's good to be at least somewhat authentic. Anyway, like and subscribe, follow my other socials over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.